Hey guys, it's Brad and Jenny from Good Mix, and it's a happy new year to everyone.
We had a crappy new year.
Yeah, it didn't start too well. So we both had COVID, and Jeannie's been doing some extensive research into, Omicron, and obviously knowing or having the experience of both us going through it and the kids. So I just wanted to jump on.
Half of Queensland, I think.
Yeah,
but it's always useful to share experiences. So yeah, for us, it's no worse than a flu. It was probably milder than the last flu that we both had. For the adults, for the kids, it was over very quickly, and it was like a mild cold. But yeah, if you've yet to have it, it's definitely worth having some supplements on hand to prepare for it. And just a lot of the research that's coming out is now saying that it's very, very much linked to our gut. They're even saying that some of the long COVID stuff is looking like there's a residual infection that could be hiding in the gut lining. So that's not sort of confirmed yet, but it is looking like that's what could be happening. So given that our gut is such a huge player in our immune system and our levels of inflammation, gut health is a huge focus for both prevention and helping to get back to normal post-COVID as well.
So Jeannie's got a blog post which is going to give you some tips, but is there something that you can just say off the top of your head now that is going to help support the gut?
Well, what they're saying is just we should be eating a really diverse range of plants every day. So they say about 30 plants is a good ballpark. You don't need to, obviously spices and tea and coffee and all of those things are counted as well. So you might have a curry that's got 5 spices in it. There's 5, then you've got your veggies in there. Blend 11, obviously that's got 11 different plant foods in there. All the Good Mix products are useful and relevant for just helping to feed that diverse range of gut bacteria.
So yeah, we were quite lucky in having it, I guess, quite mild, but it's not going to be that case for everybody.
Some people get nothing, some people will get like a bit of a scratchy throat or a mild headache, and there's no symptoms that they notice. But yeah.
So I guess we're big advocates of the prevention before cure. What are some other tips that people, like, if they feel as though probably not in that real healthiest bracket at the moment? Is there some tips that they can do to get the health back on track?
I definitely would be supplementing with vitamin D and with the zinc. And if you do start to feel unwell, then you can add in your quercetin and your NAC. I've got all the dosages in the blog post. And there's heaps of other things. It is definitely a very it's something that seems to be affecting people very differently depending on lots of different factors, genetic things and just constitutional, and the time that you get. I think definitely don't be out partying and having big nights and wrecking your gut bacteria when you've got this thing floating around near you if you haven't had it yet, and definitely not post either. You want to look after that gut and nurture it back to health.
Yeah, so even though it was mild for us, we were actually on a challenge. So we weren't drinking, we were drinking extra water, we were being quite active.
We did have a couple of drinks over Christmas, not too many.
Yeah, so. It wasn't too much, but you know what I mean? It was like I guess
we were in a pretty good place with our health to start with. And if you haven't been looking after yourself, now would be a good time to start.
Yeah. And is there some practical tips around that, like outside of supplements and things like that?
Definitely. So things like yoga and meditation, they'll be super, super helpful for helping to get our body into that rest and digest mode, which is great for our gut, but also the nervous system and your levels of inflammation. So what it's looking like with COVID is we want to be looking after our gut, decreasing our baseline levels of inflammation. And it's all about that gut, brain, immune, inflammatory. They're all connected. And I love the way that that's really being highlighted by this whole COVID situation. It's just how connected the gut and the immune system and our levels of inflammation are. And mental health is, coming right to the surface where it's kind of needed to be, have that light shined on it. And
so the Good Mix products, is there some people there that they can sort of, like, maybe if they haven't tried Good Mix or they've got friends and family that I guess are going to be compromised depending on their health, is there something they can recommend in the Good Mix range that would help? with someone's immune system or gut?
Yeah, so I mean, most of our immune function and inflammatory stuff is all to do with how our gut's functioning, and that gut barrier, that gut lining, that's the interface between I guess the outside world, and it's all coming through us through our gut. So looking after our gut microbiome and the gut lining, and I mean, that's all of our food is definitely supportive to that, particularly the blend 11. We've had that tested by Monash unis. That's really well tolerated by sensitive tummies and people who do have that IBS kind of dysbiosis, gut microbial imbalance going on. It's well tolerated, and it does help to feed some of our really good gut bacteria, the butyrate produces, which butyrate's our anti-inflammatory compound that feeds the gut lining as well.
Right.
And the greens and aloe. So aloe is beautiful for soothing and healing our gut lining, and it's also great for immune support as well, and blood sugar.
It's people are probably already onto it because they're our best sellers.
Yeah.
They're already repeat buyers on it. So yeah, good. Is there anything else? Any other products that can support this time?
Definitely. I think the Omicron seems to be much less lung focused and a lot more gut stuff going on. And definitely for all of us in our family, it was loose stool, diarrhea. That's kind of the first thing we noticed before any sort of respiratory or fevers type stuff started happening. So knowing what I know now, I would have definitely jumped on that with some high doses of probiotics at the first sign of any kind of loose stool. That's what I would have done for sure.
Okay, great. Well, I think if you want to find out more about it, then read the blog. This was just a quick overview, just our experience, both having COVID over the Christmas and early New Year period. We're completely fine, but it's probably not something that you can just discount. You should be prepared, and everyone's individual circumstances will be different. So
yeah, it's better to be on the safe side than the sorry side later.
Yeah, so have a dive in and understand a little bit more what happened to us and what we did to get through it. And yeah, hopefully it helps.
Hopefully it's useful.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you. Bye.